All right, welcome to the trading game. We're live with ICTKraken and myself, and we're going to cover the 2022 mentorship review. Take it away.
All right. So I think this is the last week, actually.
Release
I
the
didn't do that.
Kraken!
I didn't do
All
it.
right,
That's awesome.
you've been released.
Uh, all right, I've been released. I start talking now. Um, I believe this is our last week. We have the 41. I think it's episode 41 left, and then I'm gonna upload. I'm gonna upload three other videos. I think it's three, maybe even four. I don't know. I'm gonna upload them in the channel because he did. Okay, so he did. He did 41 videos, and then he did before he started the 2023 mentorship part. He added new week opening gaps, new day opening gaps, and I believe one other one that he added to his. Didn't really call it 2022, but it didn't really have a place to go. And so I added those to it. So I'm going to drop those in there. They're not required. You don't have to watch them, but I would recommend watching them if you use those. And then I'm also going to drop Model 13. Model 13 is the 2022 mentorship model that he gave just to his charter members. And I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to drop that in the chat after this is over.
Okay, awesome.
And so you guys can all have that, download it, save it, do whatever you're going to do with it. But
So
yeah,
Davis,
that's.
yeah, let's see. Davis is saying he can't see the screen. You got it. You got it now. I see it just fine. Everybody
May
else
have
see
to
it?
click on me. I don't know.
Yeah, he sees it now. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Cool. All right. So I was telling everyone before we started here is that I've been working on growing as a trader. So if you're a new, stay with 2022 mentorship, back test it, and then start slowly adding things. And I find myself learning that I need to see price action from a higher time frame perspective down lower and find my draw and liquidities easier. And so that's why I made the silver bullet indicator. But I also wanted to get better at the market maker buy models and sell models because I knew before he came out with it, but the second stage of accumulation or distribution is technically the OG silver bullet. And ICT was asked one time about if he had one setup, he could only trade one thing for the rest of his life, just the one, not the one setup for life. This is before he said that. He said he would trade the second stage of accumulation or distribution, and that's it, because it has the biggest move. It's really the OG silver bullet for the closing out a market maker buy model or sell model. So this was yesterday. Okay, this is not during a silver bullet window or anything. This is in between London and New York Open. Oh, New York Open's right here. But this is the model, right? And so I'm going to show you. I'm going to turn this stuff off, and I'm going to show you why. Hold on. Where I'm going to turn all this stuff off, and we're just going to go. We're going to replay this right here, and we're going to go to the 1 hour chart. Okay, I'm going to zoom in as much as we can see here. We're right here. Everyone see that really crystal clear?
Yeah, that's good.
All right. So when I looked at this chart, we have a 1 hour. Geez, I can't even think.
Rejection block.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you. I'm like, it's RB. What's RB? I have RB on my thing. What is it? So we were looking for this. When it hit this and it hits this higher time frame perspective, that's when we drop down to a lower time frame and look for a market maker. This would be the sell, so we're market maker buy model, right? The buy side of the curve. How's it going to pull back? So you have the higher time frame perspective, 1 hour, right here. Okay, so when we drop down into the 1 minute, this is what we see, right? It just came into that. And actually I need to go, here would be the 1 hour. Okay. So now we're like, okay, we're looking for, is there a, smart money reversal, things like that, right? So I'm gonna play this out for a little bit, get some more things on there so I can mark it up so you can see what we're looking at. Okay. All right, stop, pause. Okay, so we say that this is the sell side of the curve, right? Sell side of the curve. We see a short-term low here. I know it's small, so I'm trying to zoom in here and see it's short-term low here. And this would be the smart money reversal. Here's another short-term low. Market structure shift, right? So that's what we need for smart money reversal. We need smart money. Smart money reversal is basically 2022 mentorship model in the makings, right? So we see that we have a fair value gap here. So, oops, jumped the gun, sorry. So let me just draw a few things up here. Okay, so now we have low risk buy is coming. Hold on, there you go. So this would be your mentorship, your 2022 mentorship model, right? So let's just look at this and follow my mouse, right? You have sell side liquidity taken here. I think these are even. So you have sell side taken. We have a market structure shift. We have displacement. We come back in. Yeah, granted, you're still in a premium here, at least for me. At least one of the ways you would be drawing it. But this would be your low risk buy in the market maker buy model. Why is it a low risk buy? Because it's the 2022 mentorship model. It's the first buy on after displacement. Okay.
Which is kind of our silver bullet too. I mean, that would have been a silver bullet trade right there for sure.
Yeah, if it was during the time frame, yeah, I'm gonna show you the silver bullet here.
Well, yeah. I mean, any
Well,
time is if it's there, it's there. But right on.
yeah, this would be technically it'd be more of a turtle soup entry than a silver bullet entry, but this is the low risk buy for the market maker model, right? So now we're looking for. Let me go down here. So that would be where you'd buy one. Sorry, I'm gonna show you more. Okay, so now we're going to look for the turtle soup entry, which really is your first stage of accumulation, which was right there, I believe. It's hard to see it when you're there. You go. There's your turtle soup entry, which is your first stage of distribution, rather. Sorry, forget accumulation, distribution. I think it's actually distribution, accumulation. I always get the two mixed up. This is your first stage in the market maker model here, which is run on stops. So here's your relatively equal lows. Here's your run on stops. That's your turtle soup entry. And so there's your first one, right? So if we started marking up short-term low, we have an intermediate term low. Now we can say, hey, this is our buy side of our curve. If I lowered this down, this would be our buy side of our curve now, right? So we have, just to kind of zoom out here, sell side, we came in when it hit the 1 hour rejection block. That's when we dropped down to a 1 hour, from a 1 hour to a 1 minute time frame. And that's what we start looking for, is it going to reverse? We saw the smart money reversal, which is our 2022 mentorship model. Okay. We have, liquidity was taken. We have displacement, market structure shift. We have our fair value gap. There's our low risk buy. Now we're looking for a run on sell stops, and that's your first stage of distribution, accumulation, whatever. That's your first stage of your market maker model. Okay. So that confirms you're on the right track. Now what you got to do is you got to say, you could have bought here, rather. Sorry. That's where your second buy is in this side of the curve. Now you want to say, hey, where's your terminus? Where's your targeting for the high side? Where's your stop, right? Well, you can pull from, what you're supposed to do is pull from your manipulation leg. So this for me would be the manipulation leg right here. So when I pull the fib, zoom in here, so we can zoom in as much as possible here. I take the fib from low to high, standard deviations, and I look at this and I see that 4 lines up pretty well with the top of this, right? This is the top right here. So that would be, for me, that's the terminus. It lines up perfectly with the -4. So that's where there would be the target for the lower time frame market maker buy model based on the 1 hour hitting the rejection block. Okay. Does that make sense so far? Have I lost anybody? Looks like a fishbowl. Yeah, pretty much. Okay, so now let's keep going here. Let's see if I can grab all this right. So we zoom in here. I've noticed when I trade this live, or I'm looking at this live, I need the bigger picture than blown up. When it's blown up, it's too zoomed in for me. This is what I don't like. how do I draw the fib? It's the manipulation leg. So for market maker models, you want to, this is the manipulation leg because this is the one that took out liquidity here. These are relatively equal. And this little thing right here that took out 1 pip, I'm not even looking at that. I'm looking at the bigger manipulation leg, which is right here. And that's the standard deviations that you pull from low to high, and you get your targets. And -4 lined up with just the natural high of this time frame. I didn't know about the bias of the day. We'll cover that later. So you were outlining original consolidation. Yeah, that was that. I'm considering this the original consolidation. But okay, so going back through, I can mute that person. Throwing me off. Okay, keep going here. So now we're looking for, I should need to actually mark some things off here. Here's short-term low. Fair value gap is right here. You also have, what is that? It's a fair value gap here. Oh gee, silver bullet, my bad. You have a mitigation block right here. So you have low, high. Let me zoom in. I know it's probably hard to see on the screen. Sorry. You have low, high, low, high or low, and then trades through, right? So this candle right here would be, and actually it needs to be up to the wick. I'll go wick to wick. That's your mitigation block, okay? And you see it overlaps with this right here is a fair value gap, right? So for me, that would be when it comes in there. That's the OG silver bullet that I'm looking for. Okay, let me zoom out here.
What is?
I want to see it hit that and get a unicorn entry. Okay, so I'd mark this as my ITL intermediate term low. I'm looking for a short-term low on the right here. That would be my short-term low. We'll just do that here in a second. There you go. There's your short-term low. All right, so now we're coming down. We took out these sell stops right here. Move this line. I'm going to move this line over so it doesn't confuse anyone. If we just took out these sell stops right here, if we take out these sell stops that were right here, right now I'm buying. I'm literally buying for this right here for the silver bullet entry, and that just took out that low there. So you'd be buying right there.
I'm listening.
That would be your OG silver bullet buy. It's a unicorn entry, fair value gap with a mitigation block. Your long entry here, and zoom out here, just so you can see. Now we're targeting our terminus. It's 18.75 handles, right? So I know that's a lot, and it's really zoomed out, but
I don't. I talked.
so now we just kind of wait and see what happens here.
Bet,
I'm just gonna hit play and play this out like this.
Well, I mean, okay.
And we hit terminus right there.
Not like I'd hope.
Okay, flatten.
No.
That's the market maker model that happened yesterday. There was someone in the groups that said, "Oh, there was nothing that happened before AM this morning," and I'm like, "You missed it then, dude, because this is exactly what happened."
Right.
So it's something I'm even learning on how to get better at spotting. So it's not a slam on anyone. It's just that, well, yeah, everyone sees something different. What you don't see and what I don't see, someone else does see. And so the more you can learn these things and just mark up your charts, the easier they are to spot. Let's see what I marked these up here. So let's just, hold it on the screen here. So you can all see it as better. There it is from start to finish. When I'm trading, I usually have, I'll show you my screen if I get my thing here right. This is what I have on my screen when I'm trading. Usually I have this turned off until the hour. So I have 1 minute, that's my entry time frame. I have the 5 minute, I have the 15-minute, the 1 hour, and the 4 hour. Okay. So this is what I'm always looking at, and I'm marking things up, and I'm marking things up, and if they're going to hit them, I'll add them on all the charts. If not, I'll just look at the 1 minute and trade based off them. So I'm always looking and saying, where is it going? It could have been hitting a 15-minute breaker block. It could be hitting a 1 hour rejection block. It could be a 4 hour. It could be you're just looking at higher time frames and you're dropping down. Once it hits a higher time frame PD array, that's when you're dropping down and seeing if you're going to have a market maker buy or sell model. Does it happen all the time? No. Sometimes you don't have a model, and you're just looking to see if it's going to create that or not. Yeah, it rejected it several times. When you go over here, this is why when it first hits it, that's when you're going to see all this. It happened for like 45 minutes. That was testing that 1 hour rejection block. Show you over here. Oops, 5 minutes. My bad. Yeah, just when we came in, this is the 6 o'clock, 6:01, 6 o'clock hour right here. So the first hour it hit it right here. And then from there until 6:45, 6:45, it's been testing that 1 hour rejection block. See, my thought process. This is why higher time frame down to the lower time frame has always been challenging for me, because I'm very analytical on things. And so when I'm like, okay, and everyone's like, hey, when it hits that higher time frame PD array, that's when you drop down. And I'm like, yeah, but you missed it. You missed it. Well, you didn't miss it. Sometimes you do, and I'm not gonna lie, sometimes you do. But if it hits that in the 1 hour time frame, it hits it and it comes all the way down. Let's say it hits the. Let's just say I'm gonna draw in here. Where's my drawing tool I had here? This one. Let's say this. I'm just gonna draw this. Hold on, let me hide all this crap first. Hide it all. Let's say the 1 hour is from. Let me draw some things on the chart here. Let's just use this as 1 o'clock here. And 5 o'clock. Okay, in this hour, let's forget these candles right here, right? I hope I don't lose everyone here. I'm trying to make sense here. Forget these candles. This is not what happened. What I'm gonna draw what let's say happened. Okay. Say it came down, hit this, and traded back up here, right? And these candles started here. So what I always like was, my thought was, well, wait a minute, it already hit it. I've already lost the move. I'm way above here. I'm done. Well, you're supposed to, as you're watching it, as soon as it hits it, that's when you drop down. I was waiting for that whole hour to candle to be done and then dropping down. That was my learning process on higher time frames, and it's still kind of
that makes a huge difference.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah, huge difference. So yeah, you're if you have a higher time frame, pick one. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna find the. Hold on, I'm gonna look on my other screen here. Do I have it? I don't have it up here. Dang it. There's a chart that I have that has the higher time frames down to your lower time frames. So, and what you want to see. So when you if you're on like the 4 hour, that would be, you'd drop down to the 5 minute. I believe it's 5 minute. 1 hour, you can drop down to the 1 minute, and then like if you're on the, the daily, you'd drop down to 15 minute, for your market maker models. And so for me, I was like, I'm 1 hour, I'm a 1 minute person, so I need to look at the 1 hour, focus on the 1 hour. Now, truth be told, like I showed you, I have all of them pulled up here. I don't go above the 4 hour, other than I started my daily analysis with the daily and weekly things. But while I'm trading, I don't go above 4 hour. It's down here because the 1 hour will give me my market maker model here. The 4 hour will give me my market maker model over here. 15 minute is just a good, barometer of everything. So, yeah, is that anyone? Hold on, I gotta pull up the thing back because all my questions are gone. Yeah, are there any other questions about that before we go to a different one? I'll show you the silver bullet for Monday, or Friday rather.
I was gonna say I was looking for something for Monday.
Right. I gotta,
Predict
hold
the
on,
future,
I
right
gotta do
on.
this. Here's your, this was what was trading live, and I was posting it and said, hey, this is what you want to see. This I called out that level in the live stream about the 43.72 or 70, whatever it was. It's because I was seeing this. Let me show you here. Put that on there because otherwise it makes me crazy. I can't see all my things. I don't like the blank chart without some things going on. All right, so this is what I saw on Monday, or sorry, Friday. When we started, I pulled the indicator up, and I looked at the kill zone. I have the kill zone high here. I was waiting for it to come up and hit it. It didn't. It didn't take that liquidity. So what it did was you have a breaker block right here. Is that big enough for everyone? Wide enough? Good
Yeah,
enough?
that's good.
All right, so you have high, a low. Well, actually, it's a mitigation block. Actually, screw that up. Look at that. What am I going to do with myself here? High, low, lower high, breaks through. Mitigation block. I'm not redoing that video. So this is your market structure shift, right? Market structure shift. You could have taken a trade here. I didn't, and I wouldn't. And to me it's aggressive because I'm still thinking it could possibly come up here. This could just be run on sell side, right? You got this stop here, you got this sell side here taken. So for me, I'm not trusting that yet. I haven't back tested it enough to be positive that we're going over here.
If it would have been,
Once we started,
if it would have been a fair value gap there on that market structure shift, would that have been takeable? Would that
you
have
could
been?
have traded it, yeah.
Would that have
I'm
been
just
been?
I
Would that
was
have
just
been more
still looking at.
convincing? It would have been more
No,
convincing than a mitigation block.
I'd actually prefer a mitigation block or breaker block over fair value gap. But
Okay.
for me, I was thinking, well, all these stops. I mean, look at all this. Look at this. It took this one. It took this. It took this.
Yeah.
So I'm looking for some kind of a pullback, and I didn't know if it was just going to wick up here and come down.
Right.
I mean, eventually, my target was still down here, but I wanted to see it come up here first,
Right.
and so I didn't want to trust it. I should have just trusted that it's going to hold, but I didn't. I'm just being honest. So I need to try. I wanted to see it come up here and then down, but as it kept trading down here, I was like, okay, we're definitely going lower. What am I marking up? Mark up my order block right here, and it traded up through it. And I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna take it because I'm gonna go down here. That's 22 handles for just the New York kill zone. I'll take it all day long. Hit that one, and it came up here. Did not add to the position. Actually, I was kind of when I saw this come up, I was like, really? I was like, because I thought about adding, and I was like, nope, I'm good. I'm leaving it. If it takes me out, it takes me out. And then it came back down, and then when it traded through, okay, that's when you have your breaker block. High, low, higher high, trade through, trades back up, and that's when I added to the position. I think this is when where we were at in the stream. And this one, if I can take this one off, this one is 15 handles. So when you have both those, I mean, add that up, that's 37 handles. If you took this, even if you're on the micro or mini, it doesn't matter. You have 37 handles right there, and it took out the low. And I told you in the stream that when it comes here, I'm looking at see what kind of reaction it has here. It's going to have some kind of reaction, and it does. It has a reaction right there, and then it comes down, takes out it's previous day low, previous week low, something like that. There you go, going down to it. Let's see, some point, maybe not. Here you go. So we're looking for some kind of reaction. We do. We get it and we test it, and then test it again, come back up. So we get some kind of reaction down here. But that was your silver bullet yesterday, during the 10 to 11 hour. And it's literally all I did was pull the session liquidity and see where we're at. That's why I love that indicator, because it's easier for me to see the session liquidity. Where are we going? Granted, missed this one, so I could have got a even better trade, but I was literally expecting it to hit up here.
Still a great trade, yeah.
Yeah, that was good. That was good. I think someone caught some of this in the live stream yesterday with the dueling there,
Right.
so that was cool.
Yeah. That's where Ike was catching up. That's where Ike was catching up with Nam.
Yeah, that was it.
I think he was in 15 contracts or something.
Yeah. Well, listen, if you're in that competition and it's the last 10, 15 minutes and you're losing, it's not close, but you're losing, you have nothing to lose. I mean, if it goes against you, what are you going to do? I mean, you're already lost anyway, so what's the deal? I'd throw up all the contracts and hope I'm right, and if I do, I'll win it at the end.
He closed the gap.
Entropy mitigation breaker is the the difference between those. Yeah, that's where I screwed up on this. I marked it wrong. Mitigation block is high to low, lower high, breaks through and up, right? Breaker block, these are both obviously bearish breakers, and bearish mitigation block is, okay, I gotta get this out because that drives me nuts. You got a high, a low, a higher high, breaks through and back up. Okay, that's why it's a breaker. It took out the high here and then broke through. Mitigation block, it doesn't take out. So it's a failed swing. It doesn't take out this high. That's the difference. They treat them the exact same way. They work this exact same way. It's just the name is different. We also reject off 1 hour. Yep. Yeah. Higher time frame. Oops. All right, hold on. I always don't like messing up my chart for that.
Excuse me.
Where are we at here? Yeah. There's your rejection block coming off of it. Yep. So you have 1 hour rejection block you're trading off of. Good call. That's that trade. What other questions does anyone have? Anything you want to talk about, Mark?
Not really.
This week?
No, I'm good.
It was quiet today.
Yeah, I know. I'm going back to work today, and I'll work till Thursday.
Oh.
So I'll probably be online some Thursday, streaming Thursday and Friday, and maybe the last hour of Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. But that'll be it.
Order pairing, yeah, it's a work in progress. Still learning that, marking that out. Like I said, I'm still learning to get good at market maker models and the terminology and all that stuff because I focused so long on just learning the silver bullet based on the liquidity and stuff like. Okay, so my ICT came out with the silver bullet strategy in, I'm going to say March, April, somewhere in there, early, something like that, or way early this year. And he came out with and he said, hey, you have find the draw on liquidity. It's either previous day's highs and lows, it's session liquidity, it's previous week higher lows, it's going to a new week opening gap, from a new week opening gap, optimal trade entry, or the 2022 mentorship model. Those last two are the entries that preferred entries. And that's what he came out with. So I just focused on that for Silver Bullet, and I kind of ignored all the rest of the market maker models and everything because I don't really need it. When I'm just trading that 10 to 11 hour window or the 2 to 3 p.m. hour, I don't really need the rest of the narrative to trade those. But what I've come to find out is, learn over time, is that if you have that narrative, it just adds more confluence. You're not trading against it. You can hold your trades longer, right? Because you can trade against it, it's fine. But if you have the narrative of the market maker model with you, like we had this one. We had this one. I'm going to zoom in here. Explain this better. So before, let's just say this was during the time frame, the silver bullet time frame. It's not, just using it as an example. I'd get in here on this unicorn entry, forget the turtle soup and all that stuff. I'd have seen this model and said, hey, what am I targeting? Oh, I'm targeting the midnight open, or I'm targeting 10 handles, or I'm targeting this high. That'd be my target. Not knowing that, hey, dude, you're on a higher time frame perspective. Here's your terminus. It's way up here. So I'm giving away too many handles. So the narrative is something I'm growing on as a trader for me. Everyone thinks just because you make YouTube videos, you know everything. That's not true at all. There's some people that have a ton more followers than I that don't know shit. So,
Name
and
names.
I'm just being honest. No, I ain't naming names. I'm not getting into that kind of war. But yeah, you be careful when they're offering a $5,000 course. But Mason, I can name names. Yeah, I know. So can I. But yeah, so if you're not growing, you're stagnating. That's what I was talking to Mark a week or two ago, saying I feel like I'm just stagnating. I'm just I need to keep growing. So,
That's what it's about.
So that's
So
really all I want to show today.
So this is kind of also what Jess started doing a weekly profile, and if you would have been kind of checking, it's brand new, but she kind of had some of this, you know, in her mind when she was drawing that out, and it called a nice reversal in there, and so I think
Mm-hmm.
that'll help us to kind of see these models a little bit because this is huge. I want to definitely get to where I can see this better as well. I mean, I know about it, but I get so focused in on the minute and the 5, and I'm
You
referencing
want to show
other.
us that channel? Show
Yeah,
us that channel. Make sure
I'm
I'm gonna
referencing
stop sharing here.
the other time frames, but I'm not utilizing them like I could. So let me pull this up, share, and weekly profile. So end of the week, Jess was saying I was thinking consolidation, Thursday reversal. So she's got higher time frame stuff on here. Market maker buy model. So she was talking about it was about to complete that sometime tomorrow, which primes price action for a sweet reversal, and then we got a really sweet reversal. So, and yeah, here we go. So keep an eye on this, and we'll see what how it works out. But I think this will be good for me to start kind of knowing what to look for a little bit as we see these charts. We get kind of builds our muscle memory a little bit, and then ideally you want to be able to identify it on your own. But she's giving you
Snow
sort of
Dog,
stepping stones.
Snow Dog, you gotta click on Mark's thing to show it to see his screen.
Yeah, or you can just go look over in the weekly profile channel. It's down there.
Yeah,
Her comments are there.
yeah,
And
yeah. The
then
weekly
again,
profile is great for having a daily bias.
helps a
What
lot.
I was showing is, and then she had her bias. There's market maker models are throughout all different time frames, right? So, the market maker model on a 1 hour is based on, could be a market maker model on, the monthly, yearly,
Right.
much higher time frames.
Right.
So,
And then here's the video she pointed to was the core content month 7, which is short-term trading using the market maker model. So put this together, watch what Kraken, go back through that. That's a great illustration of, candle by candle. And then start looking to see if you can identify this. Maybe don't read her comments first, but see if you can kind of pick out what she's talking about at least and get to where you can identify it for yourself. So we'll
I think
all
I
go
was
through it.
telling everyone before you came on, Mark, is that why I'm studying the market maker model is because, well, two things. One, obviously, I make a ton of YouTube videos for Silver Bullet trade setups, and market maker model, the second stage of accumulation distribution, is the OG Silver Bullet. And he called it Silver Bullet in his charter group. So he just likes to use the same name.
Whoops.
Studying that because the price is always doing one. It's either in the market maker buy model or it's in
Sorry
the
about
market
that.
maker sell model or consolidating. That's it.
And
It's one of the two.
I just posted that actually on Twitter right here. I reposted what Jess posted originally, the OG Silver Bullet.
Yep.
And
About to say, for some of you, ain't gonna make any bit of fucking sense.
I can't
You're like,
do that.
well, how does that? And you're gonna see one
anyway,
setup,
that's where the video
and
is
I had
at.
to wait for it, and it
Yeah,
had to be there.
I'll
it's
just tease
good
it.
stuff. You got to keep learning, keep growing as a trader. So
I did record that, Tia, if you were asking. Or that was earlier, maybe.
just looking at the charts. Yep. Art Mason, thanks for putting up the weekly profile link.
Yep.
Yeah, daily bias is great. If you're a trader like me that trades the 1 minute for an hour, daily bias works in your favor. It's great. But I've taken trades against it worked out just fine, but I'm only looking for 5 or 10 handles. But if you do have the daily bias in your favor, you can hold your trades for much longer, and you can withstand the little, not in the drawdown, but when it's hovering at a point where you're like, I don't know if I want to stay in this trade. I'm getting all nervous. Well, if you have your daily bias right, you can weather that a little bit easier than if you didn't have a bias.
Right. It's kind of like when you get down close to like a monthly level, and you just know. I mean, you just know it's going there. It may take a couple pullbacks, but it kind of helps you strengthen your resolve that look, I know this is where it's going, and it does when it gets that close, and you're just a few handles away, 10, 5, it's going there.
Well, thanks for the plug, Mason. Jackhammer, yes, the market maker model is fractal, but like I was saying, I don't want to say it. You want to start at a higher time frame and see, just like the one I showed. The one I showed earlier was, I'm just going to keep using that example because it's just a great example. This was a 1 hour rejection block. We started at the 1 hour when it hit that one.
You can't see your screen.
Oh, yeah, my bad. I got to share my screen. Sorry, folks. We'll learn at some point. I'll learn how this works at some point. We started when it came and hit the 1 hour rejection block. I wasn't trading this side of it, of this. I'm watching it hit, waiting for that 1 hour higher time frame reaction to that PD array. It hit the 1 hour rejection block. That's when you drop down to the 1 minute or a lower time frame, and then see how it plays out. See if it comes back, and that's what it did. So that's how it'd be fractal. But like a 1 minute market maker buy model would be, you'd be looking for a rejection from a higher time frame PD array of like the 1 hour. The 5 minute, you'd be looking for a higher time frame reaction from like the 4 hour. I don't know if 15 minutes the daily or not. I don't know. I get lost in those because I don't go that far.
The higher you get, it's a little more complicated because you lose so much detail.
Yeah.
It's still there, but it's just a long, drawn out, you get one signal instead of 5 or 6, and when it hits, you're either in or, whatever.
Do I think the 1 minute is relevant to 1 hour? What define relevant? If I have a 1 hour high, if I hit the 1 hour PD array, yeah, 1 minute's relevant because that's what I'm dropping down to and finding this kind of model to play out. It's still a 1 hour. 1 hour comes down and 1 hour back. That's your candles. When you look at this, let me go over here and move this over. Let's show you this. Where am I at here? Turn this off. When you see this rejection block here, this right here, this blue candle, that is where we started to look for things, right? And then in the 1 minute, it came down, it tested it more, and then went up, and then went up, and went up, and went up, and then we finally hit our terminus right here.
You could assume...
Or up here, I guess, rather, sorry.
You could assume that when it comes into that rejection block, it's going to reverse, but you'd be guessing at the point of where you try to get in. There's no entry on that hour candle until you drop into the minute from there, and then you see your opportunities using the concepts, the different PD arrays, the levels, and things like that. It'd be real hard to take that on that time frame to get into that trade. The confirmation comes on the lower time frames.
Yeah.
That's where you get.
You can also go internal, external liquidity too, if you wanted to on this. But
where's your first hourly displacement candle there after the rejection, after the reversal?
Right over here.
Yeah, which one of those?
This would be
right. So
this would be
you would never get in the trade. You already be way up there somewhere trying to look for a fair value gap or something when it turns against you.
If you're trading the 1 hour.
Yeah, you couldn't. There's nothing there.
Yeah, I wouldn't trade the 1 hour.
But when you drop into the minute, then you see your confirmations lower that give you the same signals that the market's tipping its hand that that's the direction it wants to go.
Yeah. That's where you get your.
So the 1 hour is like the horsepower, but the 1 minute is the, I don't know,
entry. That's where you're gonna enter at.
Right. That's where you.
Yeah, I have MMXM's course as well. That's how I started learning my market maker models. And then I have someone else that explains it even a little bit more clear. At least for me, everyone learns differently, so I get both. I'll end up having a really good structure on market maker models. Order pairing, like I said, tying the higher time frame to the lower time frame. I shared my struggle earlier with that. Was it's for me, it's still an ongoing struggle to see the higher time frame and the lower time frame. That's why I have so many charts on my screen, so I can observe how it's working. Same thing with when I have on the 1 minute, like the 1 hour. I have when I'm trading the silver bullet, I have the power of 3 candle up here, so I can see how it's if I'm going to get open, high, low, close, power of 3. And see if I'm going to get that or not. And, again, just got to keep back testing and that. So, any other questions?
I do have a question. Easier to
Yeah.
ask rather than type it out.
Yeah.
With your trading and your back testing, how often in the silver bullet hour, let's just say the AM silver bullet New York, do you see a setup? Because there's a lot of people that every day, and I just sometimes I don't see one every day, and
I don't see one
know
every day
you're not
either.
going to see one every day, but
No.
I think that's where people get into trouble is they expect one to be there every day.
Yeah, I don't see one every day. Supposedly there's one every day. I don't see it that way. It's not if it's there. It's not as clear as I would want to take it. I'm not putting my money on the line for it. Let's say it that way. I'll say it, that's what I'll go with. ICT says there's a trade every day on every session. Great. I'm not going down to the 30-second. I'm not going down to the 15-second to see it. The 1 minute's as far as I'm going to go. I'm comfortable there. So
I believe what he said is there's one every day, but it may not be on the pair that you're looking at.
Yeah. So like for me, I'm always on ES and sometimes NQ, and honestly, I've been trying to trade NQ more. Live anyway, but I just still don't like it. I don't know. Anyway, so it's either those two, and I don't see a trade on there every day, on every session. I do see one either London, New York, or PM, sure, but I don't see one every single day. At least the 2 pairs that I trade. And I do think a lot of people jump in saying that's going to be there, and I have fair value gap, and it's in the direction, so I take it, and then they lose, and they're like, silver bullet doesn't work. Actually, if you follow the rules, it does work. It just, make sure you're looking for what you're really looking for, not just guessing and gambling. I will do a power of 3 video at some point, yes. And definitely will be sharing more. So in this next week, so I record videos Wednesdays and Saturdays, and then post them, as I go along here. So it's been like 4 months. I've posted a video every day, so I'm pretty happy about doing that. But I schedule in advance, so I'm behind. But next week's videos, I have 2 that are market maker model silver bullet setups. I think one's not during. It's ones I just showed you today, so it's not during the silver bullet hour, but it's the OG silver bullet. The other one is actually during the silver bullet hour. A trade. So I am going to start doing market along with the silver bullet videos, doing market maker, buy models, sell models, market maker model videos. So I have a playlist on that. Just gonna. So it's learning as I'm explaining it. I'm teaching myself as I'm explaining what I'm seeing for others as well. So never said I wanted to be a teacher on YouTube. I'm just explaining what I'm seeing. So it doesn't mean I'm right.
You know what would be really cool?
So.
Is if you categorize some of those on your tab in the playbook and made it easy for people to see like just the sections of IDR reviews, section for some of the best silver bullet, and then move some of this stuff here like market maker model stuff like that. So they got just an easy way to see it without trying to scan through YouTube. You can consolidate it better.
Yeah. Like just throw up the playlists.
Or something like that.
It's like I have a playlist for like AM silver bullets and PM silver bullets, London silver bullets. So I'll do that. And I have a new playlist for the market maker models. I added those for these new videos. So
those will be good too.
I'm just growing as a trader. So, stay tuned. It'll be fun to watch. It's like everybody else's progress. You gotta stay learning. That's it.
We're either earning or learning.
Learning or stagnating. At the end of when we finish here, I'm going to upload. Give me a little bit. I got to find the videos. I'm going to upload But you have one more video to watch. I think it's 41, and then you have the 2 new week opening gap and the new day opening gap videos, and then I'm going to upload Model 13,
Model 13.
and that'll be the last of the 2022 mentorship course, so to speak, or go through that we're going through, a study group that we're going through. But I believe we're still doing these weekly calls ongoing, so just to kind of talk about charts and go over things. So
maybe get Jess involved and maybe look at one of the other, to keep it ICT centric, maybe look at some of the other content that he had, some like this sniper in the wind, a little shorter but impactful, powerful stuff.
if we can get Jess on here,
I wouldn't work
and maybe do something.
Yeah, her hours are tricky, but we'll see.
Yeah.
So yeah, but more to come.
Quarterly theory. Oof, yeah. There's so many concepts. So like, there's so many different avenues, right? I've probably forgotten more ICT concepts than I know right now. Probably because his videos are, god awful long and he drags them on forever. But stick with what you're working with. So my next thing I'm gonna perfect or get extremely good at is seeing the market maker models play out. That's also going to work with the silver bullet trade setups that I trade. Quarterly theory and some of the other things aren't at top of my list because these other things are directly impacting how I trade right now, how I trade. So I want to progress in a certain way, but eventually, yeah, everything's on the list. I want to know everything. It's just how it works.
Right on.
Maximilian, I think he's showing us where some of them are there. We'll get better at recording and keeping all these on. This is kind of a trial group that Mark and I did. Didn't have had a game plan, but not a structured format.
Right.
But
30 people started. We started with 20 and then added 10 because people wanted in, and then pretty soon we just kind of opened it up, and yeah.
Yeah, so these Saturday sessions will be open to anyone and everyone. Come one, come all, whatever. And moving forward, next week is our final one, I guess. Model 13. I will give you a little snippet there. I am working with Backtest Jess on a Model 13 backtest, and so specifically for the PM session. And so I'll be sharing that. That'll be a new playlist that I'm going to post on YouTube, and I'll share the progress in the group here, so you guys will get more than what is just on YouTube. And so Model 13 has some very specific rules. Model 13 Mason is what ICT gave his charter members. It's his version of 2022 mentorship model that we're going through right here. But it's this private model that he gave his charter group. Same rules. A lot of it's the same. There's a couple new twists. Not really new twists, but things he didn't necessarily say in the YouTube version for free. It's a little bit more juice, so to speak.
We like juice. We definitely like juice.
Yeah, so I'll be sharing that here. Give me half an hour. I'm gonna find the other 2 videos. So there'll be several different threads on there with video links and things. And
then I'll move it all over to the playbook too as well.
Yeah, I can't upload them to YouTube because they're not mine, and so I get a privacy flag on it. So
no problem.
So I'm just gonna drop the recording. Just a couple people typing, so I let them type here. Yeah, you can download them. It's up to you. If you want, download them, save them. Have I showed you how many gigs of ICT crap I have? I think I'm a collector of ICT stuff. I look at his folder properties. Let me just look at this. It's thinking. Hold on, it's got to calculate all the gigs of stuff. I have 95 gigs of ICT trainings and things.
Wow.
95.3. 2,482 files.
Right on.
Yes, Model 13 will be uploaded to the Discord, yes. Perfect. Yeah, Mason, appreciate it. It's good. And Mark, yeah, got anything else? Because I'm tapped
No.
out.
No, I'm done. Got stuff to do. So I see lots of new people in here as well. I always try to call you guys out, but we're wrapping up. So welcome to those of you that are new. We're glad to have you, and we're all just trying to get better together.
Release the Kraken!
I just love that. And then there's Mark's.
Careful.
There you go. I had to do those for you. All
Right on.
right, everyone. Have a good weekend. I'll post those in the group shortly. The 2022 study group. Yeah, well, I go next Saturday, same time. And if you have any questions, post them in the charts. And yeah, have a good trading week next week.
All right. Yeah, same here. I'll see you guys maybe end of the day on Monday or Tuesday, something like that, and then Thursday and Friday. Otherwise, if you got questions, drop them in there, and somebody will get with you. All right. Thanks.
Sure. Thanks, guys.